Hello everybody and welcome back to CodeViz channel. Here we teach you about web development skills and other tech related skills. Alright, so we are currently in CSS and we've done so much so far on CSS, and now we are about to touch CSS backgrounds. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Before we get right to it, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that you'll be updated whenever we post a new video on our channel. Alright, so let's get right into the topic of today. Now, in our last video, we touched the CSS text and I showed you guys how you can add different text format to your. I showed you how you can decorate your text in multiple ways, where you can give your text its color, the text shadow, how to give your text the underline effect with text decoration, and even how to change the color of your text decoration. So in today we are going to do CSS backgrounds. Okay, that is how to edit the background of your web page or edit the background of a particular section in your web page. So let's get right into it. Now, as you know, the CSS background sounds more like a decoration than an element of the page, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Now, you can target anything in CSS and give it a background. That is the sweet thing about it. You can target anything and give it a background. I can come to this my body tag right here, and inside it I can use the inline styling method to give it a background. I can say style is equals to background color, and I'll just say orange. And let me not say orange, let's say yellow. Oh, I missed the U here, so let's just say yellow. And if I come back to my browser, boom, my entire background is yellow in color. Okay, at the same time you can also do it in CSS. All right, but now let's come back to the CSS file and do this. And now let me show you something. As you can see, there are 4 main properties in background. I'm not saying those are the only 4 background properties, but there are 4 main properties in background. Let's say CSS backgrounds here. That's the topic we're touching. And the 4 main properties I'm going to show you today are 1, that is the background color. I'm going to show you guys this background color, background image, background repeat, background position, and background attachments. So that's 5. I'm going to show you guys these 5 main properties of background today. So let's start with the first one, background color. Now, the background color is something I've used often here in this class, in this course so far. You guys have seen me use it many times. And what it simply does, it changes the color of the background element, the background color of an element. Alright. So what you have to do, as you already know, is to target an element. For example, let me target this last P tag that is here, that I gave the color of white and text shadow. I'm going to target it directly. I'm going to say .css-text, and I'm going to say background color. I don't have to do is call out any color. You guys already know that. Let's call out any color. I'm going to call out powder blue. Alright. Is this not? Oh, sorry. Powder blue. Okay, and if I come back to my browser, you can see that the color is right there on this particular line of text here. It's actually not that hard at all. Now, like I said, the color can be used to give, you can use the background property to give a particular element a background, or you can use to give the whole entire web page a background. It's actually not hard at all. Alright. And I already showed you how to give the entire web page a background with what we did in the body tag here, by just coming here, giving it inline, using the inline style to give it a CSS property. And with that, our web page has the background color right here, which is yellow, and this other element has its own background here. Even this one has its own background of blue. Okay, we did this before, we've done this before. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys now is the background image. The background image, how to make use of pictures how to use pictures as your background. Alright, so let's get right into it. So I'm going to go back to my HTML and I'm going to delete this little guy right here. I don't need it right now. And now that I've deleted it, I'm going to come and target this my body tag. Maybe I'll give it a class of web body. Alright, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to target it. I want to give it the background image property. So I'm going to say .web body. Now, to give it a background image, all you have to do is call out the property of background image. Now, to insert an image with CSS is not like HTML. It's not like HTML at all, as you guys already know. When you want to insert the background, when you want to insert an image in CSS, what you have to do is, after the background image property, you must put the value of URL. Now, inside this URL, you open a parenthesis, and inside this parenthesis, you must put these air quotes that are here. And in between these air quotes, you will put the location of your image. Now, if the image is in your system, if the image is on your computer system, you have to put the location of your image. You have to put the directory, the location of the image inside here. Okay, so for us to do that, we're going to do something right now, right? I'm going to come back here to my file explorer here, and I'm going to create a new folder for images. So to create a new folder, you don't need the shortcut. I'm just going to come right here to this icon right here, click here to create a new folder. Hold on, I mistakenly created the folder inside the CSS folder. Now take note of this issue. If you click on a folder in VS Code and you want to open a new folder, all right, when I click the new folder icon, it will open as a subfolder to the folder you selected before right here. So as you can see, this is my folder, this is my new folder I just created. Now it's opening as a subfolder to the CSS folder, but I don't want that. I'm not saying that is wrong, I just don't want that. I want my images folder to be on its own. So to do that, I have to click this empty space right here, and then I'll click on the new folder icon, and with that I'll give my folder the name images. Okay, so my folder is currently empty, and what I need to do is I need to copy a picture and put it inside this images folder. That's actually not how to do at all. All you have to do is open the file explorer. You can click on it in your taskbar, or you can just press Windows E on your keyboard, the Windows key and letter E on your keyboard to open the file explorer to shortcut. Then if you have any image anywhere in your system, just go to where you have the image. Now take note, my VS Code is open in the background for a reason. When my file explorer is open here, there's a reason why I'm doing this. I'm showing you the shortest way to copy the image directly from your file explorer to your your web project folder. Now all you have to do, like I said, is go to wherever you have an image on your system. Okay, so I'm just going to head straight to my pictures, because that's where I keep all my images. And I'm going to head to my project here. Okay, then I'm going to select this banner so that you can see right here. Then I'm just going to click, you see this image, I'm just going to drag it on top this images folder, and you see the copy command that is there. And once I release it, the image automatically copies to this folder. So you can see it's actually very easy, and you can do this for more than one image. You can take 5 images at once and just drag it into your images folder without worry at all. And now the image is now inside this folder. Now the sweet thing about it is that the image will actually copy into the folder. It's going to move the image. If I open my file explorer, the image is still inside here. Okay, it copies the image into this folder, it doesn't move it. All right, so I'm going to close this, and now it's time to insert the image. Now it's time to call out the location of the image in my CSS. So take note of something. Now my CSS file is inside a separate folder, and my image file is inside its own folder. You guys can see that clearly. My CSS file is inside its own folder called CSS, and my image is inside its own folder called what? Images. All right, so for me to target this my image folder for my CSS file, what I need to do is I need to go out of this folder called CSS so I can access this folder called images. What does that mean? It means since my CSS file is inside its own respective folder, that means I cannot directly access the image from that CSS folder. For me to access that image, I need to leave the CSS folder, then go to the folder that contains my images or my pictures. So in order to do that in CSS, I believe you guys should have done this in HTML as well, when you did HTML images, HTML media, but I'm just repeating it again here. So in order to do this, what you have to do is you have to call out .. Now this command means to go back by one folder. So by saying .. I'm going back by one folder, and as you can see in this drop down, it's now showing me the 2 other folders that exist within my Explorer here, within my main folder here. So you can see it's showing me the CSS and images folder, which are the 2 folders that currently exist within my Codebase folder right here. That is my main web project folder. So all I have to now do is select the images folder, then select the image. Very easy. Okay, I will explain it again. My CSS file is in a separate folder, and my image is in a separate folder. For this my CSS file, to access this image, I can't call out the name of the picture directly because it's in a separate folder. So for this file to have access to this image, I need to leave this folder called CSS. I need to go outside of the folder, and to do that I need to use .. which means to go back by one folder. Then I will now color the name of the folder containing what the pictures, my images, which is what the images folder. Then I color the name of my image, which is what banner. That is all. And if I come back to my browser, boom, you can see the picture is here. But the picture is too big. I can only see the laptop keyboard and this mouse. The image is too big. I need to contain my image. Okay, I need to contain this image. I need to contain this image. So in order to do that, what I do is simple. I'll come here and give it the property of background size. Oh, I didn't mention this property here. Okay, sorry, let me put it right here. Background size. Okay, good. Now that's 7 topics I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to give it the background size property. Now the work of background size is simply to help you measure your element, to like reduce the size or increase the size of your image, depending on how you want it to fit into your your element or into your web page. Okay, so by saying background size, all I have to now come and do is say I have to give it the measurement. Now you can give it the measurement, can be the width and the height. You can automatically give it the measurement of width and height as well. So I can say, okay, let the width be 300 pixels and the height be 500 pixels. And if you come back to the browser, you can see that the image has shrunk. But what do you see happening here? The image is repeating itself. My image has indeed shrunk. Yes, it has shrunk. Look at the full image here, 300 pixels by 500 pixels. But it is repeating itself. The picture is repeating itself. Now, I don't want that to happen. I don't want my image to repeat. I want the image to only be one throughout the web page. So I have to come and give it this property of background repeat. Now the background repeat can either help you repeat the image or to cancel the repetition of the image. So if I come down here, I'll just say background repeat. And I will say for now, no repeat. Hold on, where is it? No repeat. And if I say no repeat, if I come back to my browser, my image will no longer repeat itself. Look at it, it's just in one place right now. You can see it right now, it's just at the edge here. So you can clearly see the width and height of 300 pixels by 500 pixels. The image is way longer than it is wider. Okay. So let's go back to the background size and manipulate it more. Now, this size is actually not proper at all. You guys already know that. The size doesn't work at all. It's, way too big. So it's way too small. I said big, sorry. It's way too small and way too stretched. Alright. So we can always keep on manipulating the size if you want. I can come and say, okay, let the width of my image be, instead of 100 pixels, I can easily say 100 VW, which is the view width, and the height, I'll just say let the height be auto. Let's automatically adjust the height according to this width that is here. And if I come back to my image, you can see now the image is now perfectly aligned in my web page. You guys can see that, right? The full image is now in my web page. I can see my full image right here in the web page. Thanks to what? The background, thanks to this measurement that is here. 100 VW by auto. 100 VW simply means what? 100 view width. If it is an element you're putting this image, I recommend you giving it 100% by auto. So it will be the image the width of the image will be 100% of the elements you're putting it in. Okay, and I'll show you an example of that, don't worry. Another property we can use for the background size is simply by saying cover. Just giving it this background size of cover. If you come back to your browser, now something almost looks the same, because what cover does is simply saying, okay, let the size of the image be equal to the size of the section you're putting it into. That's all. So I'm just saying, okay, let this image cover the entire section. That's what cover simply means here. There's also another one you can give it called contain. Contain the image inside the section. But if you come down, my image might be smaller. Yeah, you can see it now. The image is smaller than the section I'm putting it in here. That is my web body. Now, the only reason why this image is not repeat, remember, is because we have this property here, this background property of no repeats. Okay, we have this property of no repeats right here. Now, if I want my image to actually repeat, let's try something first. Let's try something. Let me give this image, let me give the width of the image 600 pixels and auto. So we can touch more on this repeat here. Let us say I want my image to repeat itself, but only horizontally. That is only on this line here, the x-axis here. I don't want it to repeat down here. What I'll do is I will come and say background repeat. Then I won't say no repeat. I'll say repeat only on x. That means repeat on the x-axis alone. And if I come back here, you can see that the image has repeated up here. It has repeated horizontally, but not vertically. If you look down here, you will notice that the image is not showing down here at all. The same way, if you want the image to only repeat vertically but not horizontally, that is on the y-axis, all you have to say is repeat y. And if you come back to your browser, the image will only repeat what? Vertically here, and it's supposed to repeat horizontally here. Alright, now you might ask yourself, where am I going to use something like this when I'm designing a site? But you never know. It always helps to know these kind of things. Okay, you never know when you might actually need it when you're designing your site. So with that, I've showed you how the background repeat works. Then you can remove the whole thing by simply saying what? No repeat. No dash repeat. And that removes the repeat entirely, no matter how small the image is. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to say not 600 pixels. I'm going to change this back to 100 VW. Alright, good. Now the next thing we have is the background position. Oh, sorry, let me leave that size back. Let's do this background position. Okay, let's do this background position. Sorry. Now, since my image is smaller than the web page, and as you can see, it is currently at the left top of my web page. What if I want to make this background image come to the right side of my web page right here? Okay, I want this image to come to the right top side of my web page. Okay, so what do? All I have to do is come and color this property of background position here. So I'm just going to come here and say background position. Then I'm just going to say background position, and I'm going to give it right top. That means let the image go to the top right of the web page. And if I come back here, boom, look at my image right here. It has moved from here to this side to the right top corner of my web page. I can also say right bottom, and it has come down here to the down part of my web page, or even left bottom. Left bottom. You can see that clearly, right? Yeah, we can see that clearly. So this is the simplest, this is the easiest way of moving your background images about. You just simply have to give the position right top, right bottom, left top, left bottom, or you can come and calculate the position you want to give to it yourself right here. You can also give it center. You can just say background position center, and let's see what happens in the center, and boom, the background has the image has moved to the center of the web page. You guys can see it here clearly, right? Now let me explain something to you guys you need to understand. When you insert an image to your web page using HTML and when you insert it in CSS, there's a clear difference between the two images. Alright, when inserting an image using HTML, the image is inserted as an element of the web page. That means the picture is part of the web page. It is its own object. I don't know if you're following. It is its own object. That's why if you right click on image, you should be able to download it easily. But if you insert an image using CSS, it is inserted more like a decoration. Okay, it's inserted as a decoration to the web page. That's why if you right click on the image, you won't see, look at, if I right click on my image right here, I won't see anything like download or save image as. I am not seeing it here, because this image is not an element of the web page, but more like a decoration to my web page right here. Let me show you what I mean now. Let's go back to this HTML, and I'm going to insert this same image in my HTML here. Let's come maybe to this p tag that is right here. This is okay. I will say imgsrc equals to, again, images slash banner 2. I'm going to say width. I'm going to say style. Width should be 300 pixels and height should be auto. Okay, let's just use this for now. Now if you notice, when I was calling out the location of the image here, I did not put /y, because this my index.html folder is completely outside the images folder. So I don't need to go back by one folder anymore. All I have to do is call out the name of this folder that is here called images. Alright, the reason why we use // in the CSS, because the CSS file is inside its own folder, inside its own subfolder. Alright, but this index.html is inside the general folder, the main project folder. Now, coming back to this place, now that I've inserted the image here, if I come back to my browser, you will see that the image now appears right here under my text. Now, if I right click on this image, it's to show me what? Save image as. Copy image and copy image link. The reason why it is doing this is simple. This image I put here, I inserted it as an element of the web page, while this other image here is inserted as a decoration, just something to use and style up my web background. So I hope you guys understand this now. This is more of a decoration, while this is part of the web page. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. You can try it out yourself and make sure that it's working on you so you can understand it better. So I'm going to remove this right here because I don't need that in my web page right now. I'm going to come back here and we're going to continue with the CSS backgrounds. So with this, I'm going to come back and give my CSS what, let's change this thing back to 100 VW here, 100 VW. Yep. And now we have this little thing right here. Now let's manipulate the image inside the section. We have to come and do this background attachment, right? So we're going to do it inside this web body. But before we do it, let's create another section in our web page. Let's create another section. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to say div.img. Something simple. I'm not going to put anything inside here. I don't need anything inside here. So I'm going to come down here and target the div.img. I'm going to give it a width. I'm going to select the width be 800 pixels. No, let's say 70 VW. Height is going to be 600 pixels. Then I'm going to say margin. The margin around it should be auto. That is automatic margin, so it will be centralized to the web page. I'm going to say background image. Now, just like how we can get our image from our system, we can also get our image from online. We can get our image online from an online source. Okay, just like how you can get your image from your system here, you can get your image from an online source. For this, you have to actually be connected online, as you already know. So all you have to do is go to whatever site you have and do this. Let's go back to this our browser here. I'm going to come here and I'm going to go to google.com. Then let's search for an image. Now let's search for an image. I'm going to search for CR7. We all know who CR7 is, so let's not waste time. Let's search for something popular. So I'm going to click on images here on Google. Now as you can see, I'm completely online. I don't need to download this image into my browser, no. So to make use of an online image, all you have to do is select the image you want to use in particular. Just select any image you want, the particular image you want to make use of. Alright, wait for it to load clearly. Like as you can see, it's very clear now. Then right click on the image. Alright, then you will see save as, copy image or copy image link. Now since we want to use it for CSS, what you have to do is say copy image link. In your browser, it might not show you copy image link, it might show you copy image address. So whether it shows you copy image link or copy image address, it is the same thing. Alright, so click on that, come back to your VS Code, then in between this air quotes here, paste that link. Then come back to your browser and go to your web page, and you should see the image is right here. Okay, so that's how you can get an image from an online source. It's actually not hard at all. Just go to the site where that has the image you want, right click on the image, copy the link, come back to your to your code here, paste the link in your in between the air quotes of your URL, in between these air quotes right here, that is in the air quotes of your background image. Then come back and check it in your browser and it should work. Very easy, no stress at all, right? No stress whatsoever. So now that my image has become bigger, what do you notice about this my web page? My web page now has become longer. If you notice, my web page has extended in height, and because of the position I gave to this my my background image here, you can see that this top part has no background image and this bottom part has no background image. Can you guys see that? You guys can see that clearly, right? Now because this image actually stretched out the web page. So for me to fix this now, let us say I want this background image that is here. Let us say I want this background image here to not, I want this that's not the issue, that's not the way to say it. Let us say I want it so that let us say I want so that whether I scroll up or down, my background image does not change, it stays static. It doesn't scroll up and down with the web page like it's doing right now. I want it to just stay on its own position. I want it to stay statically on my web page. What I have to do is I have to come back to my CSS code here. Remember I said that we will still manipulate this thing here. So we're going to manipulate right now. All I have to do is come back here to my web body. Then you make use of this last property called background attachment. Alright, I'll just make use of this property called background attachment. Okay, so I'll just come here and say CSS background position center. I'm going to change this position from center to left top. So that the image will come to the top of my web page now. Good. And now you can see there's no space down here. Then I'm going to come and give you the property of background attachment. and this background attachment I'm going to say fixed. Alright, now by giving this image background attachment of fixed, what I'm saying is that let this image stay in this position no matter what. Whether I'm scrolling up and down in my web page, my image will stay exactly where it is. And as you can see, as I'm scrolling up and down, do you see that the background image does not change at all? My background image remains static while my web page is scrolling up and down. You guys can see clearly as it's working very well here. So you can see that this is what most people do in their sites. When you're in a site whereby you're scrolling up and down and the background image remains the same, it's just as simple as this. All they came is what? They came and give the background image the property of background attachment fixed. And then my image is just staying one place, not moving at all. It's just staying on its own. You guys can see clearly, right? Okay, that's good. That is good. So I've called out all the properties here clearly. Now, last but not least, let us say, now as you can see, this whole background image and background positions, everything, it's all long. We can clearly see that it's very, very long, right? Now there's actually a way we can shorten it up. We can shorten this up, and it's actually very easy. It's actually not hard at all. All you have to do is we can shorten everything here to one line of code. So let's do the shortcut right now. So to do the shortcut, let me bring this down. All we have to do is call out the property of background. Then this background is a certain order it must follow. Alright, we have to start with the background color first, but we're not giving our image any background color. I'm just going to say the background color should be, I'm not giving it. So we'll start with the background image first. URL in brackets /images/banner 2. After the background image, I have to come and put the background repeat. I will say no repeat. Then the position of my image, left top, and after the position, I'll put the background attachment fixed. That is all. So when you call the background property, it is a shortcut for you to apply all these background properties that are here. But there's a certain order they must follow. You must start with either the background color or the background image first. Okay? The background color or the background image must come first, followed by the background repeat, followed by the background position, followed by the background attachment. Okay, and if you come back to your browser, we have our little browser. Look at it. Can you see it? Now the reason why the image got bigger is because I didn't give it the background size. So let's go and give it the background size and see. Cover. Come back here, and yep, my background image is gone. So let's remove that. So if you want to give it the background size, just come down here and say background size. So as you can see, if you put the background size here, it won't work because that is not how the background size doesn't belong in this declaration right here. Alright, your image will disappear. That's what I did. So let me redo it again. Maybe you guys I believe so fast. If I put the background size after the background image, let me say cover here, my image will disappear. You can see that it is not working. Okay, that's because this background size property doesn't belong in this command here. The only thing you can put in this place is the background color, the background image, and you must put it in the order I'm calling: background color first or background image first. If you want to put background color, then you can't put background image. It's as simple as that. So background color followed by background image. All right, then the background repeats, then the background position followed by the background attachment. Yeah, like I was saying, you can only put the background image or the background color first. Why did I make that kind of mistake? Sorry, don't mind me. So as you can see, it clearly didn't work. I put the background color first, and what do you notice? The background is not white at all, right? Exactly. So only one of them must come first: background color or background image. So let's come out of this. So to give it the background size, I have to come and declare it on another line. I'll say background size should be cover. And if I come back here, boom, we have the same image. As you can see, my image is scrolling up and down, and my distance is not changing. My web page is scrolling up and down, and my image is not moving along with the web page thanks to this background attachment right here. So with that, we are done with CSS background. Now remember, this is the basics for CSS background. There's still a lot more we can do with CSS background. All right, okay, let's do one last thing, just one last thing. All right, so you guys can have this for yourselves. So let's create another section here. I'm going to create this section and say div.mix. Okay, I'm going to say div.mix. Now I'm going to come down here and target that div.mix. Let's say div.mix. I say div.mix. Sorry, I'm going to say .mix. .mix. I'm going to give it a width and height. Width should be 300 pixels. Height, the same thing, 300 pixels. Okay, I'm going to say margin top 50 pixels. Let it be away from my element. Then I'm going to give it background image. Now the reason why I'm showing this is very simple. Background image. Now in this background image, there's another way we can make use of our background image. We can use our background image to mix colors to create a background. What does that mean? We can use the background image to create a gradient background. That is a gradient color background. Okay, we can use the background image to create a gradient color background. All right, what does that mean now? It means all you have to do is color this linear gradient or this radial gradient. So let's make use of the linear gradient first. So instead of me to say background image and URL, I won't say that. What I'll do is I'll say background image, then I'll say linear dash gradient. Now that I've colored this linear gradient, inside this my parenthesis here, these two brackets, I have to now call out two colors and their direction. I'll first give the direction first. Okay, the direction is where I want the color to start from and where I want it to end, or where I want it to end in particular. So I'll just come here and say to top left. Okay, now that I say to top left, that is the direction I want top right. That's the direction I want the image to flow in, comma. I'll call the name of the first image green and the name of the second image yellow. And if I come back to my browser here, let's scroll down to the section. And what do you see? The down part is green and the top right part is what? Yellow. So this is linear gradient here. This is linear gradient right here. Okay, so you can see with this now, I have put two colors in my background instead of one, using the linear gradient property. First thing you have to do in linear gradient is do what? You color the direction, how you want the color to flow. Should it be from bottom to top right? If I say let the direction go to top right, that means I want it to start from the bottom left. If I had said just to top, if I said to bottom right, that means I want the direction to start from the top left. You can see it now. Okay, at the same time, if you don't use any of this, you can just come and use degrees. I can just say, okay, let the direction flow at 120 degrees DEG here, and if you come back, it will still apply. All right, the background the linear gradient will still apply to the background. All right, so as you can see, this background image can not only give us an image, it can also be used to mix colors for us. To mix gradient colors for our background here. All right, so with this we are done mixing the background to the linear gradient. Now there are still other things you can do here, but this is the pretty basic way of making use of the linear gradient. There's still other things you can do. You can declare the opacity of each color if you want to do that, but we're going to do that later on in the course. But for now, we've done this. This is the basic. You can try it out. You can practice with it. Now remember, for this linear gradient, you can either use the direction to top left, to top right, to bottom left, to bottom right, or you can simply color the degrees in which you want it to flow in, and it will give you exactly what you want. Okay. So with this, we'll round up here for today. With this, we've touched our CSS backgrounds. All right, with this we've touched the CSS background. So I would like you guys to have this and practice with it. In our next video, we are going to do an actual practical. Okay, in our next video, we are going to do a practical. What does that mean? It means we are going to combine everything we've done so far, and we're going to use it to design an actual site, a simple web page. That's all. We're going to combine everything we've done so far, and we're going to make use of it to design a simple web page. That is what we are going to do in our next video. So for now, just practice what you've learned so far. Okay, practice everything you've learned so far. Practice what you've been taught right now. Play around with the CSS background. Get used to it, get the hang of it, so you understand it better. You can go on and check out other resources, and so you can understand it better. Okay, that is all I'll have to say for that. And like I said, in the next video, we are going to do a CSS practical where we are going to design a simple site, and I'm going to make use of everything I've taught you guys so far in the CSS course. That is, we're going to make use of everything we've done so far in this CSS course. That is both the CSS text, the CSS font, the CSS background, the margins, the paddings, and all that, and even borders. Okay, so without further ado, we are done with the course for now. We are done with this, so we'll stop here for today. Remember, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you can be updated whenever we post a new video. This is CodeVase, and remember, we don't just tutor on web skills and other tech skills. We also take on tech projects as well. We take on web development project, data analysis, UI UX and amongst others. So feel free to contact us if you have a project or you know someone that has a project they want to undergo. So with that, I'll say we are done here. See you guys in the next video.